$14.99.
Don't miss the call. Download Band. Communication made easy.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Vainglory8 powered by VIS. I'm your host, Dragonborn, bringing you guys the off-stream match here on this amazing Saturday as we get into our third week of the Vainglory8 competitive play. And of course, there's been a lot of action on the fold. There's been a lot of excitement, and I'm really excited to be able to help bring you guys this off-stream match that, we can't get onto the main channel for Vainglory8 on the Vainglory channel here on Twitch or YouTube, but we could definitely bring you guys here on VIS League. So today we got an exciting one. We've got Calamity, Reborn versus QLASH, and this is a matchup, an interesting one. Both these two teams are out of the running for that world bid, but they are at that point where they are in desperation to be able to get some points and get out of the challenger level. They have a slim chance of being able to do that. They are sitting about 10 points below Dynasty, both these two teams with 2 points each. And, a couple wins here, both this week and next week, might be enough to push the edge and get them out of this challenger zone. But we'll have to wait and see as we get ready for draft of this first game. I'm going to check in with the players. If they're ready to go, I'm ready to go, we're ready to go, and we should be able to get into the draft here. So let's jump right into it. Game number one.
The draft begins.
Two players between QLASH and Calamity Reborn. It is underway. And Reborn going to be up here on A side first as we look to get ready and get into this. Oh boy, okay. With that first pick, Calamity Reborn, they are going to ban Blackfeather. We've seen Blackfeather really come into the meta and been a very strong hero for most of 2.9. Rhyme, the second strong, like another hero again. We just seen these are dominant carries. Blackfeather definitely a better flex pick. This is going to allow Calamity Reborn to start off with their support pick here. They're going to pick Lyra. We've seen Arden kind of be that safe second support pick, sometimes even first pick by a lot of these teams. Arden has so much crowd control in the late game if he goes the route of picking up an Echo, which is really common for these players and these teams to go that route. And he just gives that crowd control. He's also pretty tanky early, and he gives a lot of damage as well. So he's one of those supports that I think a lot of players just love to play. And they're very good and proficient with them. They're going to go with Catherine here. Catherine's going to be able to provide that crowd control with the silence as well as that merciless pursuit. And that could be really potent. I actually really do like the Catherine pickup at this spot. We'll see, though, again, with both supports being picked, this gives a lot of flexibility to either team to figure out how they want to draft the rest of this draft here with their carries in mind. Cruel's going to be banned, and so is Baptiste. So taking off those strong junglers, it's going to be Kestrel. QLASH. Kestrel has been that hero that a lot of these laters and junglers feel very comfortable on, and it's his flex pick. So it could go in the lane or the jungle. We've seen some Crystal Kestrel come out with some proficiency and with, pretty effective in some cases, as well as the weapon Kestrel. So a lot really can be utilized here, and this means now that Calamity Reborn has to really think about how they're going to go in. We see there is Reza. Now we might see a Vox. Vox Reza is kind of that combination that we see often. It's a close proximity fight, but when they can get on their target, it really could do a lot of work. Reza's got to be careful. He's got this active camo and merciless pursuit he's got to think about when he goes into these fights, so an early reflex block is going to be important as the game progresses pretty quickly, because he could easily, if he engages too hard early, take a lot. And so he's a burst hero. He's going to want to go in and do a lot of burst damage. So for Reza, if he can't get the burst through, doesn't get the kill, he can actually sometimes be a sitting duck if there's a lot of crowd control. And actually, with one more pick left for QLASH, they could go that route. It is going to be the Vox to round this draft out. We see this paired up with an Arden or a Lyra, but the Reza Vox with a healer or with some Barrier can be very potent. They just need that sustain. Now, with this, I will say, crowd control is really favoring QLASH right now. So all QLASH has to do is, they could either go with something safe here, or they could pick a hero that has additional crowd control, and that would just make it really hard for the Reza and the Vox to get in and out of fights to dance around. And that's really, honestly, what Clash could be their strategy here. We'll have to see as we wait for this final pick. They do have 30-some seconds left on bonus time to make this decision. So as we wait here and get ready. Oops, sorry about that, everybody. We should be just about ready for this last pick. They're taking a long time, and it's going to be the Samuel. So, you know, they're not going to go with crowd control here, but what they are going to go is they're going to be able to apply a lot of poke. And so they've got Kestrel and Samuel. These are double poke. They give them enough range. And that's definitely important. They want to stay away from this Reza if all possible. And, you know, not give into this close range fight. This is where Lyra can be extremely potent in this case, is it'll allow, with the Arcane Passage, to be able to get on top of Kestrel or get on top of Samuel. What you got to be careful, though, is what we see a lot of Kestrel players do is when the Arcane Passage comes over a wall or comes over anything, instant active camo. And that active camo, it's able to basically trap and stun everybody that comes in through that passage. So, you know, if that's something that the Kestrel player in this case could be, and it's going to be actually Merciless. So, that should be a pretty strong composition. Samuel in the jungle on Agony, and then Merciless on the Kestrel as we get into this with Clash. So, all right, guys, we're just about ready to jump into the match and jump into the fold. Make sure you guys hit the follow button and get ready for some exciting action here in the European region, as we're just about ready to jump right into it. Let me just get everything set up here real quick. All right, there we go. And here we go into the fold. This is game one, everybody, and you guys are watching Calamity Reborn versus Clash. This is the Vainglory8 off-stream match brought to you by the VIS League. So as we get into the action, we're going to see this is not too uncommon. We do see both carries for both teams starting off on what they call the back rotation, double carry back rotation, where it's going to allow these two carries to share ambient gold, share experience, and then rotate up to the lane. They really don't miss out on much lane pressure or on most of those creeps in the lane doing this rotation. It's a slower rotation, definitely, but it allows a pretty early strong gold lead, especially if one team forgoes this. But since both teams are following this rotation, also they're going to be ending up around the tree end around about the same time, so there could be a little bit of a contest here. As you can see, both teams eyeing it. They're looking for a potential opening where a team makes a mistake, maybe starts up the tree end, and then they can come in and steal it away. But both teams, I think, deciding against it. Oh, nice steal by Agony to get one of those small shot minions. It's not a lot of gold or experience, but again, every little bit helps early. And Agony's able to apply that pressure early on. Now that he's at level 2, he's going to really be able to push out Calamity Reborn. And this is not a bad look early for Clash. This is a top 2. Reza and Vox do like to scale as quick as possible, so you don't want to get behind early if you're them. And so Apfel is going to just move right up to lane, start farming here. Looking to try to get a little bit of a lane pressure to try to push up. Right now it's pushed up in his lane, right underneath his turret. And Ghost is doing his best to just keep Apfel with enough health and sustain. But Merciless doing a good job with this Kestrel. Already with 15 CS, is able to push that lane all the way up. You can see now Apfel has to contest with his jungle. Looks like he's not going to have a problem, though, clearing that out. Meanwhile, in the jungle, oh boy, Aeon. Looks like he might have... no, it's actually Agony that stole away the Elder Triad here. And this is going to go in with the stun. Ghost now, he's very low. He doesn't have his... doesn't have his heal up just yet, and then that's actually a nice burst coming out of Aeon, and Agony's now going to have to back up because he took a huge chunk of health here. He can heal that back up though if he gets the poke, but nice heal coming from Ghost to keep it out. Apfel rotates down. This is going to mean that Agony and Disown now. Oh, they're actually going to be able to start up this Elder Triad, as Apfel had gone back up to the jungle to clear lane, because Merciless is up here just pushing and applying pressure, has got the lane pushed underneath Calamity Reborn's turret yet again. So not a bad flip here. Alright, sorry about this, guys. we might have a little bit of issue with the hosting. So let me get that fixed real quick for you guys. Alright. So you guys watch that lane pressure as I fix a little bit of... So that way, because for people viewing on the web, they would just get redirected to the Vainglory channel. That wouldn't be cool for everybody, so I want to make sure I get that sorted. There we go. Alright, fantastic. Alright, so we're back into the match. I'm going to get back into this, guys, and cast for you guys appropriately. But, you know, we have this Kestrel, and Kestrel's been very good this patch at being able to put lane pressure, especially if she's going up against something that's a little bit slower early on, like a Vox. It doesn't do quite as much damage right away, but as soon as Vox picks up some items, that can quickly change. Merciless definitely try to take advantage of that. It's already gotten some damage into their turret of Calamity Reborn. With this zone coming in here, Merciless does take a bit of damage as Vox is able to apply a lot of resonance as we get closer to the 5 or 6 minute mark. And of course, not having your support there for a few minutes can definitely be problematic. But Apfel doing a good job, having to keep rotating up. Now, there's a nice scout trap for the side of Clash, so that's going to give them good indication of rotation. It's going to help them get some information there. And that's going to allow Christison to seize that, so knows all of Calamity Reborn is up here. But he's going to see Reza. Now, Reza's going to pop that vision, but that's going to allow Clash to move in. Now, Reza's not backing away from going to his farm, but it is going to allow Clash to push this lane up here, potentially into the turret. And this is a big mistake. With Aeon not there, Aeon's committing to the jungle. Now this is an open turret for Clash. Clash keeps going in. They've got the damage. Do they have enough? There comes the Oblivion. Puts to sleep, gets the turret, and oh, Aeon, he just committed to that back rotation and wasn't there for his team. Clash saw it, recognized the advantage they were going to have in the lane, and took that advantage right to the bank. Cashing it on a nice turret. It's only 200 gold per player, a little bit down from previous updates, but it is a sizable objective for this team. It's going to open up their rotation. It's going to allow them to rotate in and out of the jungle a little bit easier. Again, all thanks to a really well-placed scout trap that was there for a few minutes that just allowed the side of a Clash to just see what was going on and recognize the rotation coming out from Calamity Reborn. And that's really a big problem. Honestly, Aeon probably should have been aware that they were going to push after catching him rotating to his backs. And he had to actually wait a little bit because he didn't time that back really appropriately, so the backs didn't come up right away. So he had to wait there for a little bit, opened up that lane pressure. Clash took advantage of it. So, not a bad looking start here for Clash. They are starting to put up a little bit of a CS lead. Agony's got a 10 CS lead over Aeon. And you're seeing just about a little under 10 CS lead for Merciless. And this is exactly what you kind of want to be in this position here. One shot, one kill comes out. Just a pressure one shot, one kill. Just to kind of like, I think, a little scare tactic. I don't think Merciless really felt like he was going to get much for that. Aeon, though, looks to find Agony. There's the Merciless pursuit. They're going in for some damage. Merciless from the top, able to get a little bit of poke, but there's a heal coming in. Ghost doing a good job at, staying between his two carries. As we kind of move in between the top part of the lane and the top part of this jungle here. But again, Aeon looking for damage on Agony, looking for the kill. He might find it here, goes in, gets a little bit, but there's the ultimate. It's not going to land onto Agony, and here comes the Drifting Darkness. This is going to give Aeon a lot of sustain, but Aeon finds Agony. Does Agony outsteps him. Might have found the kill. The scout trap almost gets Aeon. Aeon's so low. And now disowned. He should be able to get Aeon here. Aeon's going to drop. So it is going to be a 1-for-1 trade here as Apfel had dropped as well. Oh, it's going to be a 1-for-2 trade. So nice job. Merciless had fallen there in that fight. But it was a good catch out and a good engagement. Unfortunately, Agony missed his ultimate. So he wasn't able to, I think, possibly get the kill onto Agony if Aeon had landed it. And then Agony, of course, once that Drifting Darkness comes out, he really does start to stack up a lot of damage, but also that sustain that comes out. He gets a bit of heal when he uses his Drifting Darkness. along with his heroic perk. You see a little bit of a catch out here. Fox trying to find damage onto Ghost. Or onto this. Oh, but it's Agony who may have found. It is Agony getting caught out by Aeon. Finds the kill. Nice job there. He realized that Agony was on the bottom side away from his teams. He was split up. And so used his boots, ran right in to get that damage and was able to get the kill. Now this is going to allow Aeon to just possibly. Oh, he's not going to find any farm for it. So they don't get much off that kill. Calamity Reborn, other than just, you know, stopping some of the pressure from QLASH. And again, Aeon trying to find something here, but, you know, he's just waiting around for the farm to come up here. And meanwhile, Agony still has a sizable lead in gold, so just getting caught out. If Agony doesn't get caught out, if he's got Merciless there, or if he's got Disowned there, he should be okay, but... You know, Aeon's been doing a good job trying to find moments where Agony's not with his team. And when that happens, that's really not good for Agony. Now Calamity Reborn, that could have been a bit delayed. The lane's been pretty at the center of the map here for the last few seconds. So it's really not much that QLASH could do as well. Of course, Calamity Reborn. They are going to have to fight some pressure one of these times. They're going to have to win a fight in the jungle, or they're going to have to at least catch them off an bad rotation to maybe get this turret down, but they haven't really been able to find that. And now all of QLASH is down here in the jungle. They're going to move to the enemy tri-bush, and there's the poke coming out from Agony. Just really catching it out, but because of the pressure, they're now going to turn their attention onto the gold mine, and QLASH might have this. Ghost does flare, might have caught out this. They do sniff it out. The gold mine is very low, but here comes Agony with the Drifting Darkness. Do they get the kill? They don't get the steal. It is going to go over to QLASH, but Aeon is moving in. Might have found Merciless. He doesn't. And Disowned and Merciless are going to be nicely positioned here on the bottom side of their jungle. Agony's on the top side of the jungle. He's trying to dodge out Apefel. Oh, but Apefell's dropping low. Can't take too many Merciless pursuits. And then the active camo does catch out Aeon there, as well as a few glimmer shots. Agony's going to Drifting Darkness again. He's got that pulled back up. And now he's going to push Calamity Reborn all the way back into their side of the jungle. Oh, Ghost. He's got to be careful. He's so low. One more Merciless, Malice and Verdict from Agony. That poke could do it. They're not going to get that Heal Treant from Apfel, but they are going to find pressure on this turret. And they might have found another turret. They got the gold mine, and they've got their second turret. A huge gold swing going over to QLASH. And now Calamity Reborn, they are starting to get themselves into a little bit of a hole and a precarious situation. Oh boy, QLASH, they've applied that pressure early, and it's starting to pay off. So, absolutely a good position for them here. And, as well as farm. They've had a farm lead for about the last 5 or 6 minutes. And now they've got a very strong objective advantage with a gold miner and 2 turrets, which is the main contributor to that 4,000 gold lead. Now, 4,000 is a lot, but it's not a amount that is so much that Calamity couldn't come back from it. It's enough where one good team fight in favor of Calamity could absolutely even up these items. As you see, Aeon is already on 2 tier 3s, and could definitely move it quickly. We do see QLASH rotates down from the top. They might have found Ghost here. Ghost takes a lot of damage, and Ghost, uses the Arcade Passage to get out of that fight. Had to. He was about to drop. But it's going to be a Crystal Sentry that QLASH find there. They don't find a kill just yet. But you can see Agony. He's just sticking around. He knows he's got the poke to scare Calamity Reborn from engaging again. So he's actually going to get a little bit of that CS from Calamity Reborn's jungle, and it's going to be another gold mine. Hasn't really even filled up that much, but they see an opportunity to get a little bit extra gold. It's going to be I think a decent-ish. No, it is an immense payout, so it does hit that 280 gold. A little over halfway of the gold mark, but a great heads-up play by QLASH. Again, getting a Crystal Sentry, and then getting the gold mine yet again. So really nice play by them. Calamity Reborn now are going to be holding their position in the enemy's jungle. They're actually, you know, just looking for something. They're trying to, I think, find like an Agony cutout. They do find Agony. Agony gets caught out here. He's going to do a nice job. Had to use his boots there to kind of run up to the top part of the lane. Didn't want to get caught out. Of course, Aeon and Apfel, if they can apply enough auto attacks, will just blow through Agony. He's got very little defense, so all offense out of his carry. But he's got that Eve of Harvest, and that's going to give him sustained. But Merciless is actually working towards his 4th tier 3 item. We've only got 3 on Apfel, and Apfel actually had to prioritize a decent amount of armor because he knew how much damage was coming out of Merciless. But Merciless does finishes his 4th. There's the Tornado Trigger. And now this is going to be so much damage coming out of the side of Clash. This is where the engagement from Calamity has to be perfect. They might have found it. They do. They locked out right onto Agony. A huge misposition. He overextended, and there's the kill. All due to a fantastic arcane passage from Ghost. And now they may have found Merciless. Merciless doesn't have very much defense as well, and has to stay for the back. He's going to find a one-shot. Ghost takes it. Doesn't really hurt him too bad, as he's got enough defense to fend with it, but a huge kill. Now, Calamity don't really find any objectives from that kill, but they do show Clash that they are in business, and there was a sizable amount of gold from that shutdown that you have to imagine would feel pretty good. And if you look at kills, it's actually favoring Calamity Reborn. They've got 3-2. That's because Clash have not need kills whatsoever to get onto objectives, to apply the pressure. They just do so much damage that the respect that's coming out of Calamity Reborn has to back away every time these fights start up, if it's a 3v3. So they've been able to isolate the players every once in a while, specifically Agony. But now it's Ghost. May have been a little bit too far forward. Has to back off. One shot, one kill comes out, but it's way high. And Calamity Reborn are going to heal right back up from that. Thanks to Lyra. Oh, but Apfel, does he find Agony? But there's the Merciless Pursuit, gets the stun, and Agony heals right back up. Eve of Harvest does a great work, and Merciless comes in and finds the damage. Apfel's down, and now Lyra has to run away. Oh boy. Alright guys, we got a quick problem here. Let me fix this real quick. Alright, there we go. Alright, sorry about that. Had the... little bit of a problem, as should be able to get into this. We do have a Kraken take actually, so as soon as we get into this fight here, there we go. All right, we're back into it. Sorry about that. A little bit of a technicality. And now we're back into this match. Oops. Sorry about that. Alright. Now we're back into the matchup. A little bit of a weird technical issue with the client that happens every once in a while. Alright. Got this fight breaking out here in the lane. Huge amount of damage coming out. They do find a lot of damage onto Agony. He's dropping very low. Aeon might have found the kill, and he does. But Kraken's still moving down. And you can see there's Merciless trying to just get the turrets out. But, oh boy. They are able to get a kill onto Merciless as well. 2 kills there. Nicely done. Sorry about that, everybody. But a great job by Calamity Reborn to at least get a couple kills there, as they are able to stop the Kraken right before their last turret is taken out. Alright guys, so yes, sorry about that, some technical difficulties, but everything's good now. We're all back. Clash They have this strong lead, and not by kills, down 5-3. But they have this sizable gold lead of 4,000. It's actually stayed steady at 4,000, so Calamity Board's done a good job with that. Of course, getting the Kraken, not giving up too many turrets. Only 2 turrets are worth the full 300 gold. It's worth pointing out, guys. So that's definitely something that, you know, there's not nearly as much turret gold. But with this push here, with all the objectives taken out, it has been a good, you know, Clash really looking strong. And yeah, Minion Candy, more Dragon. Definitely been a little bit problematic there, as had a small technical difficulty. All right, but we're back into the action. We're back into this again, guys. I am Dragonborn. I'm casting all by myself, so please allow me some understanding here. Oh my goodness, the Bob Marley emote. Alright, Calamity Reborn. With the kills, with keeping the gold lead here, as we get later into the game, it'll become less of a big deal that they were behind early. They have the damage now, as we're starting to see the 3rd item being built by Aeon. He kind of needed this sooner. He's still a little way from building out that 3rd item. He needs about another 1,000 gold. But, you know, again, another minute of farming, and he might be able to get some. Of course, another kill. I don't know if Aeon should start this fight out. Yeah, he doesn't have nearly enough defense as well. Apfel has his 3 tier 3 items, as well as he's got a metal jacket. So Fox will be able to sustain a little bit of this fight. But of course, if Aeon drops early, or if the whole team focuses on Apfel, it will be very problematic. Yeah, so it's like the CS lead. The CS lead is extremely high in favor of not extremely, but like you're talking about like 20 or 30 CS. That is a big deal. Now you got a fight breaking out here. Flash go in. There's a stun. Silence. But it's blocked. Good job. But the second silence from the Echo is a success. They're going to get this Crystal Sentry and then move in, but they're split up here. They're trying to find. There is Aeon. Aeon. He went the wrong way. He gets off of the fight, but 1 shot, 1 kill finds Aeon. And Merciless does not let him get away. And now Apfel looking just for something here. Blocks out that Merciless pursuit. And Agony's going to try to find the poke and re-engage. Merciless, on the other hand, rushing down to the back to try to find Ghost here, who's running to their side of the jungle. Meanwhile, Apfel just staying on the top, looking for everything and anything. He knows Agony's low, and he takes away that Treant. So now he's going to try to keep applying pressure. He's got to watch out. The poke from Agony is still immense, especially when Drifting Darkness is up. So Apfel ultimately has to get away. Merciless did find that kill, and now it's going to be a Kraken, an uncontested Kraken, going to be going over to Clash here, as they look to potentially close out this game. There's only 1 turret remaining, and that turret is so low that Calamity Reborn, they're going to need a miracle here. They're going to need, not a miracle, they're going to need a solid team fight, and they're going to need it as early as possible, because the Kraken, he's going to be able to push through that turret very quickly and potentially end the game. So you can see this here. Calamity Reborn, they're actually looking to try to get some position outside of their sanctuary. They don't want to have to fight it within those walls, because if they are, it's likely not going to be enough to stop the Kraken from taking out their crystal. So Calamity Reborn need this fight early. Anyway, pushing in. Clash. They don't need to rush it or push the fight. They know that with Kraken moving into the sanctuary, that's their advantage. That's their win condition here for this fight. Now they decide to go in. Arcane Passage. Oh, but she's stunned out. Ghost doesn't go in. But there's a Silence coming in. Drifting Darkness and Oblivion. It's going to get blocked. Apfel is stacking up a ton of damage. But it's going to be the missed ultimate from Aeon. Aeon does find Merciless. He's moving in. Kraken, though, is on to the crystal. But with Merciless finds the kill and does get it. It's going to be a 1v1 trade as Aeon drops. But it's not going to matter. Kraken is on the turret. He's full health. He's going to be able to find this crystal. Then it's not going to be enough. Apfel comes in, recalls back to potentially slow this down. But with just a few more hits, Clash find their first victory here, and they're going to be getting another point. They've only had 2 points this entire season. Will make that 3 as they get a win over Calamity Reborn. Good job by that. And you know, when you look at, if you were to look at the scoreboard, you wouldn't know right off from kills how dominant Clash was this game, but they were, from beginning to end, applying pressure, getting the damage. Maybe not so much the kills, but definitely a lot of damage. And it just really put Calamity Reborn on their heels for the entirety of this game. So congratulations to Clash. They do pick up that victory. And that does mean we're going to be moving into our second game here as we get ready for the second game, game 2 of this best of 3. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to get right back into the action. It's Calamity Reborn versus Clash.
$14.99.
Don't miss the call. Download Band. Communication made easy.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here live at the VIS desk getting ready for our second game here, the Vainglory8 powered by VIS, as we bring you guys the off-stream match during the Vainglory8 here on Saturdays. And every Saturday there is Vainglory8. As we're getting ready, we of course are in the matchup of Calamity Reborn versus Clash, with Calamity Reborn losing game 1 and Clash taking that first game of the series. But it's a best of 3. Now it's up to Calamity Reborn to turn their fate around, potentially here look for a victory. We are waiting for one of the players. They have to reset some of their internet connections. They want to make sure they're ready to go. So we're going to give them a few minutes to get that all sorted out. And of course, once they give me the okay, we'll be ready to get back into this matchup. But just want to take a few minutes then, since we're sitting here on the desk, just to say hi to everybody in the chat. Thanks for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. Of course, you know, the main Vainglory8 channel, make sure you guys have that up as well, because we've got a lot of action going on there. And of course, a lot of matches that mean a lot. This match particularly does not have anything directly to do as far as the world bid. Both these two teams are the bottom 2 teams. But what it does mean is that it gives one of these teams potentially a chance to work their way out over the next 2 weeks out of the bottom 2 seeds, where they would be unfortunately forced to go into challenge battles if they can't get out of. There's about 10 points, well now 9 points separating themselves from Dynasty, from Clash specifically. So a few victories between the next 2 weeks, it could be enough. But right now, both these two teams, they are looking poised to have to be forced down into challenge battles coming up in a few weeks. I am waiting for a quick word, so I could just take a few more minutes to say hi to everybody. Hi, I think it's Try Murti saying hi at Vis League. Make sure you guys just say at Vis League if you want to say hi to me in the chat. I greatly appreciate it. And Bloop, thank you guys for hanging in there with me as we look to get into the action. Again, we are waiting for one of the teams to fix their internet connection. They want to make sure they're prepared, so we're going to give them a little bit of time to do that. So in the meantime, we can sit here and relax and discuss kind of like how this all went. You know, looking back at that game, I will say a few things that stood out to me is the poke that came out of Clash was really strong, and we see this. This is actually very common. It's a really good composition when you've got the Samuel, Orchestral, or basically 2 poke heroes. There's a lot of damage you could get, and going again, you know, early on Samuel at level 2 in the game, it's really hard to deal with. You really can't out pressure him. He's got a lot of heal, especially if he lands his Merciless Pursuit. I'm sorry, Merciless Pursuit. His Malice and Verdicts, but his Heroic Perk just allows him to re-heal energy as well as some of his health so throughout the game. So early on, it's going to be very, very difficult. The player had broken the internet. I hope not. Hell's Devil, how's it going, Hell's Devil? As we are waiting then just a few more minutes for hopefully this game to start here. So I'm going to just check in here. All right. But, you know, that's really was the name of the game. I mean, we've seen, you know, with Rhyme and Blackfeather taken out, those are, I would consider your priority bans for pretty much every game in 2.9 right now. So you don't want to let one of those through. If one of those do get through, it changes the game a little bit. But even if a Rhyme was picked, we've seen Kestrel and an additional poke hero like Baptiste or Samuel. It's really done a good job at just, you know, keeping a distance between them and Rhyme. So it's something that, you know, you may see a lot of Kestrel play here in the next game as well. Stale Donuts. Hey, Stale Donuts. Thank you so much for saying hi. And thank you guys for tuning in. We're still waiting. Let's see. Doesn't look like we're ready to go just yet, but we will be ready to go momentarily in just a few seconds. As again, waiting for an internet connection reset. For everybody though that's tuning in, you know, of course, this is the off-stream match on the main channel on Vainglory Game. We've got some exciting action going on there right now. I believe they're actually getting ready for their next matchup. But you know, it's we've got a lot's on the line actually for a lot of these teams. If you take a look at the standings, you can go to Vainglory8sports.com. You can check. It's basically two teams that are in a great position for vying for that first place. SK Gaming versus G2 Esports, and you've got Space Station at 16 points, but with only 16 points left in the entire week, it's really unlikely that Space Station will get the 34 points if you'd have to win 2 weeks in a row. So really, it's a two-head race between SK and G2 at 32 points and 26 points respectively. So a lot of the action is going to be focused this week, I think, on these two teams specifically, as we are, you know, really want to eye that, you know, how they do here. And actually, right now, Space Station is one game up against Dynasty. So we did talk about how Dynasty is, I think, about, was it 10 points? So at about 10 points, Dynasty could get knocked down to challenge battles if, like, QLASH won 2 weeks in a row, or even won 1 week and then picked up a few points the next week. So worth mentioning that as well. Space Station, of course, is that team. They're 16 points. They would have to win 2 weeks in a row, and even then, it would be unlikely for them to get that world bid spot, but it's definitely a possibility as they look to vie for that. Again, Space Station, formerly Salty Potatoes, for everybody who might have not known. Salty Potatoes did get picked up by Space Station. So, you know, there's a little bit of a change there. If you guys are looking at the standings on the Vainglory8sports.com and not realizing, hey, who's Space Stations? I hadn't really seen them at all. A quick preview, though, of what's coming up later today. Of course, the North America Vainglory 8 will be starting up. And, you know, that is a little bit more of a contested race, as you've got a lot of teams that are in the running for that world bid spot, that final world bid spot, as they're trying to just try to beat out. All they need to do is be, you know, higher than all the other teams except Cloud9. As we take a look at those standings, much closer. Hollywood Hammers, Cloud9, Hollywood Hammers, Cloud9, Team Soloman, and Rogue are for the first place, but it's really Hollywood Hammers, Team Soloman, and Rogue vying for that bid. Now, Tribe and Nova Sports Esports, they're still in it because both of those teams could get enough points here to get them above Rogue, but, you know, it's going to be a tough climb for them. Hollywood Hammers at 19 points are a little bit closer, but it's really a slugfest between Rogue and Team Solo Mid at 24 and 23 points respectively. We'll be streaming the Gangsters versus Tempo Storm matchup here in the off-stream match, but of course, a lot of action happening in North America as well. And it does say, it looks like we need a few more minutes here, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to do my best to entertain as best as we can, as we look to get in, hopefully, to this next matchup in just a few minutes. All right, so we'll take one more ad break. We'll throw that in there. Gives me a little bit of chance to grab some water. And when we come back, hopefully we're going to be a little bit closer to getting into game number 2 here, this best of 3.
$14.99.
Don't miss the call. Download Band. Communication made easy.
All right, everybody, we are back, but unfortunately the teams are not quite ready to get back into this game, so we're still hanging tight, hanging tight here. So it's hang tight with Dragonborn, as we could see here. It says we could start the draft. Well, we could get the draft started. Looks like they're ready to go on that spot. Let's just check in. Gives us something to talk about other than fireside chat with Dragon. Not that that's a bad idea. That could be a very entertaining stream. Sit here, just listen to me talk. But you know, I'm sure you guys want to see the game, and so do I. All right, so we're gonna get into the draft here. So I'm gonna. So let me just let them know. All right, and here we go.
The draft begins.
All right, hold on. Let me just get rid of all those notifications. And now we can get into it. Draft for game number 2 as Clash move on to A side here. So Clash picking up that first win, getting that first point. As we get that updated there, and now Calamity Reborn looking for something here. And Cruel's going to be the first ban. Oh, man. Cruel has been that hero that, you know, you just don't want to face sometimes, especially if you're thinking about pulling out a rhyme. And now Calamity Reborn, they need to probably ban the rhyme here. If they ban Blackfeather, Clash is going to get the rhyme, and with no Cruel, it would only be Alpha left that would really have enough, you know, sustain, I would say. They do ban the Blackfeather, so this is going to be a rhyme. I almost guarantee a rhyme pickup by Clash. It'd be crazy if they didn't take advantage of the rhyme, because then they could even ban the Alpha, or you know, whoever they want, really. I'm not really sure if Calamity Reborn plays Alpha, so it may not even be needed to be banned here. They're thinking about it, and I'm surprised. I would say it's a pretty straightforward pick here. Now, Rhyme first pick can be risky. It usually will result in, you know, the opposite team going with that poke composition. But, you know, again, so early, forcing the Rhyme out can be really good. But, no, they don't pick the Rhyme, and now Calamity Reborn are going to get 2 picks and a ban. So, they're going to go with Lance here. And they might ban Rhyme now if they don't want to play it, and they don't want to, you know, if they don't want to play it, they definitely don't want to go up against it, potentially. Other heroes that are still really strong that could be banned here are Alpha, and then of course, if you do want to play the Rhyme, I would definitely ban Kestrel in this spot, because you know, Kestrel is one of the strongest poke heroes that plays well against Rhyme. Yeah, so with Kestrel banned, Clash, they see the fact, oh, we don't want them to play Rhyme, so they do ban it away. And now you have, you could really bring out Alpha here. I don't see a lot of, Baptiste could do a good job, potentially. But, you know, I don't know if Calamity Reborn plays this Alpha pick too often. Alpha would be a great pick here. They could pick Samuel again for that jungle poke. You're only going up against a Lyra. Could be a little bit risky. I think in this case, you just take your laner. Laner would be safe. You don't have to worry about being countered in the jungle. And it gives you some time to kind of think about how you want to take your jungle strategy with this Lance. Lance, a lot of crowd control. So they go with the pedal. And this is likely the laner, though. This is likely that weapon pedal. We could see it flex to the jungle. So a little bit of a flex pick here as a crystal pedal as well. But we've really seen that tornado trigger weapon pedal in the lane that's been so popular. And of course, a little shout out to Mindy Candy on the weapon pedal. It's one of her go-to faves. Now it's going to be Clash here. I think they could suspect the weapon pedal in the lane, but likely it could go jungle. So at this point, they're going to go with Baron. Wow, we have not seen a Baron play in a long time. Baron's kind of been at this point where he's been strong, but not strong enough to be better than even, say, a Vox or a Ringo. So with Baron pick here, now this could be, this is almost guaranteed to be a weapon Baron, but, you know, Crystal Baron is something that, you know, is supposed to be feasible here. So I'm really curious what Clash is going to do. Have to imagine weapon Baron, though, is kind of what they're going to try to pull out. And again, a lot of this could be just dealing with the pedal. If pedal's in the lane, you definitely want to take away her minions, and of course those mortars, Porcupine mortars could do that. They're going to finish it off, so it is going to be that weapon Baron in the lane, Samuel in the jungle. Samuel could be good against Petal as well. Able to get on top of Petal and blow up her minions. Again, everything's about exposing Petal as fast as possible. Now the last pick from Calamity Reborn. This likely is going to be their jungle hero, unless they flex Petal, which they could do. Flexing Petal as a Crystal Petal would be interesting. It would avoid the Baron matchup, but it's going to be Ozo. Oh boy, Calamity Reborn trying everything here. I love this pick. There's very little crowd control from the side of Clash. But what Clash does have is that Bulwark will shut down Ozo for a few seconds, and then the Porcupine Mortars do slow. So it would take a lot from Clash. They could focus on the Ozo, but Ozo is going to be able to get in and get out and also jump back. He's going to be able to get to the back line. So I really love this draft from Calamity Reborn, but it's a little risky, you know, because there's a lot of damage that's going to come out, and Ozo will be exposed. There's no stuns, though, and stuns are normally what shut down an Ozo. So with no stuns, with just a little bit of slow, and with that Bulwark, it could suck, but it could be still really good. And so that's the draft, guys. We're going to be here for a little bit. We're still waiting for Agony to get back on. It looks like he's getting on now. Scordos, thanks for the hi. Love the Vest community. We love you too, man. And we're glad that you're a part of it. All right, we're finally here. Took us a while, but we are jumping into this game in a few moments. So excited to get back in. Finally get you guys a second game. We'll see if Clash have what it takes to pick up this 2-0 victory, or if Calamity Reborn is going to make a sweep comeback. It could go either way. Ozo, again, is one of those picks where normally in the right circumstance, it could be just so overpowering. And I really think in this case, against the Baron, I think Ozo's a great pick. I really do. I think this is a good draft for Calamity Reborn. Now it's going to come down to how they play. As they may have gone the draft they wanted, but they've got to execute on it. As everyone's saying, yeah, bad for Clash. And I have to agree. This is definitely a tough draft for them. So we're getting into this game, though, everybody. So let's jump right into it as we take a look into the fold as we get to game number 2 of this best of 3. All right. So as we jump down into the fold, where all the action is. Calamity Reborn now. They're looking for another point this split. Both teams started off the day with 2 points. But it's actually Clash who get that first point of the series, and they're sitting at 3 points now. Calamity Reborn are going to split up and do the back rotation, double carry back. Disowned here, going to just be looking for some vision and some information. Both Ghost and Disowned actually just camping their tri-bush, not looking to give away anything to either team. Pretty fast rotation by Merciless. Wow, Merciless and Agony. They clear very quickly. They're going to actually get down in position a little bit before the side, and actually going to be able to put some pressure here. There's a nice route onto Baron. Baron's got to be careful. He's going to heal right back up thanks to the Lyra. Level 2 across both carries for both teams, so there's no advantage there. But because of that pressure from Clash, they're going to get this Elder Treant. And now they're going to be able to move nicely here. Go back to the rotation. Baron's going to move up to the lane. I'm really fascinated, guys, by this Petal Baron matchup in the lane. This is a matchup we don't see all too often, but I like what Clash was thinking here. Their goal is going to be able to just constantly put pressure onto those minions here. Merciless does take a lot of damage. Good root coming out from Ghost. And Apfel able to follow it up, but the heal and the damage Apfel had to feel, it's going to force him to use his flask. So both Merciless and Apfel have now used their flask. That's a decent amount of healing and barrier that has to come out. But you can see right now, Merciless, when Apfel attacks, the minions are going to be going out. And when the minions move out into the middle of the lane, Merciless is able to use those Porcupine Mortars to just blow them up. And this is going to actually mean Apfel is going to have a low amount of damage. Oh, but Merciless might have got caught out. Has to use the Rocket Leap to get out of there. Does barely get out of there. Gets a little bit of heal from the Sigil as well. But, oh boy. Disowned actually puts 2 points into the Sigil right off the bat. Does not start the Bulwark just yet, as he really wants that heal to do as much work as possible. And that might have been a lifesaver for Merciless, as he did almost get blown up here, as Ozo had rotated up from the jungle. There is a little bit of an engagement, though. Agony going up against Aeon. And, oh, Aeon's getting the damage, but there's the Sigil. Oh, Aeon might have bit off too much. Didn't get the damage fast enough. He's able to get a little bit. Oh, but Agony finds a kill on to Ghost. Ghost probably shouldn't have got in. And now Aeon has to back off again. Aeon got a lot of heal, had to use the flask. But now it's Agony who's finding the damage here. And may have... Oh, Aeon almost gets the kill right there. One more shot, and that's it. Nice job by Agony. Gets the kill. Merciless now up in the lane is going to push this forward. But 2 kills going over to Clash early, and this is not awful. I mean, Apfel and Aeon will be able to scale well into the mid to late game. But if you let the Samuel and the Baron get ahead of you, they're going to be able to continue to apply pressure, especially against Petal. Petal's going to just, unfortunately, always be energy starved with their minions constantly being deleted. The real hero here to watch, though, is Aeon on Ozo. Ozo is going to be able, once he gets to the back line, to do an insane amount of damage. And, of course, you see as a Crystal Ozo, it's going to be all burst. So, early game, not necessarily Aeon's strength anyways. So, not a huge deal if Aeon just gets a little bit behind. Again, focusing on farm. He is out-farming Agony just by a little bit. And that's going to make a big difference here as we get into the late game. If you can really just keep the farm close. Aeon's going to do a lot more poke, but if Agony's going to do a lot more poke, but if Aeon can get onto the back line or onto either Merciless or Agony, it's going to be really tough. There's a nice root, comes in, and Ozo's going to get Bulwark. Should be able to keep Ozo at bay for a few seconds, as Agony has to back off, but nice job by Merciless, gets the double kill. And now he's moving in. Apfel is very low as well, but all of Clash are up here in the lane. And there is a Lyra with a heal. So they're going to be able to apply pressure and start putting damage on the turret. You see Merciless might just throw a few Porcupine Mortars here just to bring that turret down a little bit. And it's going to be Agony stealing away farm. Going to be healing up pretty quickly as well after getting that enemy treant. Apfel's got to watch out. He's low. Good root, though, but there's a Sigil to keep him healed up. Disowned's locked out, but Merciless able to move around. Pretty agile for a Baron. Typically a slow hero that packs a punch. There's a nice job. Oh, but the Bangarang lands. Merciless, he's low. Merciless is probably going to go low here, too. Yeah, unfortunately, Sigil doesn't do enough heal. And there is the first kill coming out for Calamity Reborn, as they did a good job. The Bulwark didn't stop the Bangarang in time. As you're going to have to see a Crucible coming out. Disowned has not bought a single item since the start of the game, though. So a little bit interesting here. Now, he hasn't bought a Fountain. He could buy a Fountain or a Crucible at this point. Probably should think about getting the Crucible. The Bangarangs can be really annoying unless Baron gets a Reflex block early. So the team definitely has to coordinate that. But Calamity Reborn finding that kill and also only keeping the gold lead at 1,000. There's a good job. Nice root. Merciless, he's dropping low. Ozo's in, but he's able to rocket jump away. Ion Cannon comes out for good measure. Does find Apfel. So a little bit of damage there. Agony gonna stay here, just hopefully to apply the poke. Ghost has done a good job on this lance. Those impales, they have been landing every single time, and almost every single time onto either Merciless or Agony. And that's exactly what you want to do.
The draft begins.
So definitely a really good good job by the side of Calamity to be able to get in onto the enemy, but unfortunately just not enough to get the kill. Up in the lane, a little bit of turret pressure. Merciless here, he's in turret range, does find some damage onto Ghost, but he has to back away. Again, the turret damage is definitely favoring Clash as well. They've been able to bring that turret. It's not quite below half health, but it's close. Ooh, nice Impale comes out. Does find Disowned only. Here we could see, here comes Aeon. Bulwark jumps up, tries to slow down Aeon, but Aeon Takes an insane amount of damage. Fountain already used, and it's Agony who's applying all of the damage here for the poke. Agony almost finds Ghost here. Oh, so close. Malice and Verdict is just within range here. There's a Bangarang, but it's blocked. Nice job. Ozo has been deflected here. Now the insane amount of damage. Merciless, though, he's very low, and Aeon actually finds the kill. Agony does one more shot to find Ghost here, and he does find Apefel up in the lane, so it is going to be a 2-for-1 trade favoring Clash. Agony going to take this time after that engagement to now put up and put some poke into the lane. I don't know if Aeon could contest this, so he's just going to have to wait for the turret to contest these minions here. Here comes the Drifting Darkness. Malice and Verdicts, they're going to get the turret. Good job by Clash here. And now they almost find Aeon. They do. There's the kill. Afel's going to come in here, but not going to be able to stop Agony from getting the damage and the kill here. Agony able to continue to outpoke the side of Calamity Reborn. Merciless going to take this time to actually clear away the back jungle here, so he doesn't want to lose out on any of the farm. But with a nice turret, that's going to be a 3,000 gold lead going over to Clash. And we talked about Ozo. Definitely a great pick. I love it, but, you know, they weren't able to get the damage early or get a kill, and so they lost a lot of that early game momentum. And now Clash here. Oh, they are eyeing this gold mine. What a gold lead coming out of them as Evil Harvest has been built. Dragon's Eye and Even Harvest. This has been how Agony has built Samuel the last 2 games. And this gold mine, if they can get it, will be huge. It's going to be contested. Ion Cannon comes down, but there's a Bangarang. Can Ozo get the kill? They can't, so another gold mine goes over to Clash. Merciless is very low. Get the wall, stuns them up. But it's Merciless who survives. Agony drops. Now Merciless goes down, and it's just Disowned, the last man standing. The lane is pushed up far enough that Calamity Reborn aren't going to be able to get any more objectives. So they are going to get down some shutdown gold, but they do lose out on that gold miner. Calamity Reborn now have pushed up the lane, and they're going in the turret. It looks like they are going to get the turret here. So it's going to be their first turret objective of the game, and actually their first turret of the series. So huge objective here, and a big deal for them. It's going to help them even up this gold, now only down to 2,000. But Disown sees an opportunity to get Agony onto Apfel. Apfel dropping very low. A few more pokes might do the trick. They're going to be able to push the lane. Bangarang, it's blocked! But Aeon still going in. So much damage coming out of Ozo. Root's going to land, just finds Agony. His Bulwark goes in. Trying to find additional damage here. Wow. Good job by Calamity Reborn. They're starting to actually make this a close game. But Clash, they have been able to do a good job at just, you know, keeping Aeon at bay. Aeon hasn't really been able to run away with this game. Still a little bit behind in items. But not enough. Not enough to get the kills that they need. And that would really blow this open now. Aeon starting to really rack up a lot of damage here. Nice root. Oh no, Agony might have been caught out. He's just getting blown up here. Oblivion comes out. Drifting Darkness. He's got the poke, but Merciless is Bangaranged in and is destroyed. Aeon could be the next to fall, and it is. Ghost is so low, and Apfel. Oh, does Agony find Ghost? He does. Finds Ghost barely, but Apfel is now in between both Disowned and Agony, looking to try to trade out damage here. Agony's going to move into the jungle. There's Drifting Darkness. He's got the damage. Does he fight Apfel? He does. And there is the ace for Clash. This is going to allow them to push this lane up here. I don't know if they're going to get a turret, though, because you can see Aeon. He's moving into position. Should be able to actually keep Agony and Disowned from pushing the lane too far. So they're going to move into the jungle. They see that. And actually look to start up another gold mine. It's not the stream that's laggy, everybody. It is literally the game, I believe. There is a little bit of lag in the game play. It's not mine. It's actually the spectator client. So there's really little I can do about that. Oh, another gold mine going over to Clash. Ghost now. Looking to find something here. So a good game. Honestly, this game is closer though. Yes, 10-5. You would think that the Clash has this game in the bag, but they really don't. They're even on objectives. They've got a slight gold lead. Well, I guess it should be say slight. It's about a 5,000 gold lead, but they've been able to actually hold their own in these fights. So definitely an exciting matchup there. There is a Bangarang, but it is blocked up. And now Aeon has to be careful. He's being punished. A lot of damage coming out. Agony and Merciless looking to keep pushing in. Disown. He's got the front line, but there's an Arcane Passage. And now they're pushing in. They haven't found a kill yet. It could be Ghost that's actually the first to go down, as he was, trying to keep his team aligned. Good front line, but he does drop. And now Merciless could push this lane, and the entire team of the Clash could look to take out this second lane turret. It's a good victory here for a good team fight, as Calamity Reborn had to run away from that fight for the entirety. And now, just like that, Clash are going to get the second turret. Second turret here as we get close to the 15-minute mark. Could be an absolutely huge deal for Calamity Reborn. Apologize, guys. Just taking a few seconds to grab some water. Solo casting, I feel it can be a little challenging on the vocal cords, so I don't want to overdo it. All right, we do have an engagement though. We actually saw Disown. He got caught out. He's got to use the bulwark. There's a nice block on the Bangarang, so Aeon now has to back off. And that's every time the Bangarang doesn't land a stun, Aeon does do a good job at disengaging. It's because there's a lot of damage that's going to be followed up. Disown did almost go down, but he does survive. Gonna use the sigil. He's gonna be able to heal back up again. Nice stun onto Agony. There's a good root. Oh no, Agony! He's low, but he does survive. He's a heal coming out, and now it's Aeon that's gonna get blown up. Arcane Passage to push them into position, and now Affel, he's low too. Merciless, he gets the trade, gets the kill. It's just Ghost left, and he's almost likely to drop here. There's nowhere to go. Nowhere to go but down. And he is doing a good job trying to survive. There's Oblivion, though, just catches him, and there's an ace. And there's a very bad timely ace, because the Kraken is about to spawn. Now, I don't think... Yeah, Clash isn't going to get Kraken here, so they're not going to get Kraken in time, but they are going to be able to apply some pressure in the jungle. Aeon just looking for something. Nice snare. Stops Aeon from being able to continue to push. Bangarang comes in, but it's blocked again. And so now it's just Aeon looking to come in, but oh, Affel jumps over the wall. Affel does jump over the wall to try to get in there on that fight. Doesn't get in there in time. Agony is a little low, but they find Aeon on the bottom side of the jungle. There's a little bit of poke as the Merciless pursues. Oh, but Affel's blown up. Wow. As Clash find the damage. Merciless, look at him. He's got 4 offensive items. He's going the critical damage proc build with the tension bow and the 2 Tyrant's Monocles. He is hitting like a truck. And Merciless doing a great job. And that was a poor time for Affel to go down, because now Clash are going to be able to start doing work on this Kraken. Ghost is just sitting here tight. Clash, they actually see an opportunity to put a lot of pressure onto Ghost. And they actually might take a chance. Oh, they get the Kraken, and Ghost out of position. He's going to go down. Look how much damage is coming out of Merciless right now. Dude, the guy is just unbelievable how much damage he has. And he's got that infusion. This guy, and there's only 1 metal jacket, and it's built on Ghost, and he still got blown up. Oh boy, Petal can't even take a single shot without watching his health bar delete. Merciless, he is ready to tear up. And there's Affel. Oh, he's in a bad spot. And look how much damage a couple auto attacks do. Oh, Merciless, he is just unbelievable right now. Looking to go in there. There's the kill as he finds Ozo. There's a turn. And the Kraken, he's still full health. Affel has to back off. Merciless just laying into everybody, able to apply that damage. using the rocket jump, using the porcupine mortars. Everything in his arsenal he is able to pull out here. One more turret, and Team Clash, they've looked like they've done it. They have secured the victory. They have 2-0'd Calamity Reborn. And that is going to be a victory for them. Oh my goodness, this is Baron. We have not seen a lot of Baron play, but boy has Merciless showed everybody how to do it. And they have picked up the victory. They have secured 2 points, and they move on to tomorrow. And ladies and gentlemen, this is an absolutely huge deal. This is only the second time that Clash has been able to move on to day number 2 as they look to try to get some points and get out of the challenge battle. The, you know, I wouldn't call it elimination, but it's basically the challenge battle threshold. Thanks everybody for tuning in. You guys have been watching the Vainglory 8 powered by VIS. I'm your host Dragonborn, bringing you guys the action every single Saturday that there's Vainglory 8. Make sure you guys tune in later today for North America off-stream match, as well as next week for the final week of the Vainglory 8. Also guys, after the stream, make sure you guys head over to the main Vainglory channel to watch the rest of the European Vainglory 8 take place here for this week. See you guys till next week. Good night.
$14.99.